Hey everyone, this is Candy. I'm here kind of guess with a relationship video. I never really intended to make a video like this, but this message has been in my mind, and I just feel like I have to share it, and hopefully it will help and encourage somebody. Um, I'm looking a hot mess at the moment, but I just thought like I had to share this. And I've entitled the video, If He's Not Your Husband, Do Not Give Him Husband Benefits. And I basically, I'm kind of talking about why God said we shouldn't engage in premarital sex. So this may be aimed at the young people, well, it's for anyone of any age really. But it's that reason why God said we should not have sex before we are married. Now, when God created male and female, He created them with different roles and different purposes. And together they kind of reflect who God is. Because God said, let us make man, man being the universal, in our own image. And so we have like different characteristics of God or different roles, and we perform, and that reflect who God is, different aspects of Him. And I'm not trying to say that men have no emotions whatsoever, but females were created more with the more of the emotional kind of feeling side. And I'm not trying to say men have no emotions, because that's rubbish. But as you know, as females, we're more of an emotional creature, and that's how God kind of designed us. It's kind of like the man had more of the strength. And I'm not trying to say females are weak either, so please don't get me twisted. It's just that we have different roles and different attributes, to perform. So when a man and woman come together, they're perfect together. It's kind of like a unit, and they're just knitting together perfectly. Now, it says in the Bible that a man, it says that therefore a man will kind of like leave his mother and his father, and he will join with his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So basically this is like the biblical sense of marriage. When you leave and you're having sex with somebody, basically you are joining yourself with that person, and you're becoming one with that person. You joined yourself physically in your body, you're joining yourself in your mind, and more importantly, you're joining yourself in the spirit. Now, kind of like when you're having like sex, we're taking it to like a physical level. The woman is made to receive the man. The vagina, it excretes secretions, the fluid, so that when they're having the sex, there's no friction, it's not rough, it's nice, it's pleasurable. And then, she can receive the man. She's there, she's receiving the man. She's like receiving him, receiving his essence, if you want to say that. And then obviously when the man ejaculates, those secretions then help the sperm to swim up and meet the egg to fertilize. Now, I'm not saying that sex was only created, just for procreation, but that is part of it. When God did say, be fruitful and multiply. So when you're having sex, you are joining yourself to that person. So whatever your relationship is, whether it's first time thing, it's casual, whatever, you are joining yourself to that person. And in a sense, you are married to that person. So this is how, when you think about you joining yourself to that person, this is how God had intended it to be. You would join to that person. Now, it also says, it's in the Bible, it used to be in the traditional marital vows, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So basically, when you've had sex with a person, you have joined yourself to that person. And if that relationship hasn't got no full commitment, and it's just like a casual thing or whatever, when that relationship ends, whoever ends it, you are tearing, you're trying to tear your spirits apart. Whether it was God who put you together or not, once you're having that sex, you are joined in a spirit. You're connected to that person. So when that relationship ends, now I won't talk about marriage or divorce, I'm talking about like single people. You're trying to rip apart your spirit. And that's why a lot of the time, sometimes you hear people being messed up when relationships end and stuff. I know people who have been in short-term relationships, but they've had sex, and then they're like, why is it hurting me so much? It's because you've had that person, you were joined, your soul, your spirit, whatever was joined to that person, and now the relationship has ended. You're ripping apart the soul that has been joined together. You've become one flesh, and it was never made to be ripped apart. It was never made to be separated. And kind of like that's why some people talk about it hurting so much. And sometimes you hear about people being messed up by relationships and whatever, and people think, oh yeah, I can do this, you're just trying to spoil my fun. But I'm trying to take you to a higher plane to help people to understand it's not about spoiling your fun. It's that you are literally, you're ripping a person out of you. And when you're joined, that joining together was never ever made to be separated. So that's a lot of time people talk about, and they're feeling hurt from relationships, especially when, you know, they've given this man husband benefits, they've had sex with him, and there was no kind of like full and proper commitment. And there's a lot of time people talking about being hurt because you've been joined together. You're married in the biblical sense. You are married, your spirits are joined, you become one flesh, you're joined in body, mind and spirit, and now you're trying to separate something that was never made to be separated. And there's a lot of time people are talking about that they're being hurt. And then so what happened is you're going through that pain is because literally part of your soul, part of you is dying. I've had people talk to me, they feel like they've been stabbed through the heart, they're feeling so sick and stuff. It's because that spirit is being ripped apart from you when it was never ever meant to. And you know, I've spoken to people who've, you know, they've been with a guy, they've had unprotected sex with him, he's ejaculated inside of them. And now when you think about the sperm, they call it like the seed, and that is life, you know, because the sperm is life. It's there, it's swimming, it's meant to go and meet the egg, fertilize it and create a new life. God said, you know, to be fruitful and multiply. So that is seed, that is life. You were joining. So if that man is ejaculating inside of you, you were joining your life forces, your spirit, you're joining together. And so if it's just a casual thing, the relationship breaks down, that is why it hurts so much. And even like people have been married and then they divorce, there's sometimes could be a lot of pain there as well, because again, you're separating your spirits when it was never made to be separated. So my message is to people, especially the young people, I'm not here to spoil your fun or anything. I'm just trying to take you and give you that understanding of why God said not to have sex before you're married, to try and to keep yourself for that person, for your husband. And then when you give yourself totally to him, he has everything of you, and then you're joined together fully, and that should hopefully never be separated at all. So even people who have no Christian beliefs or whatever, they can understand, even now society, they're understanding that when you have sex with somebody, you're having sex with all the people that person has had sex with, and he is having sex with all the people you've had sex with. So even if it's your first time and he's had sex with one or two people, you are still having sex with all his partners. And the more people you have, it's more other people's spirits and essences that are inside of you where it should not be. So please, please, I'm not here to spoil your fun. I wasn't meant to be preaching or anything to you. I was just trying to help somebody, because I know people are going through pain and they're like, why is this ending us this relationship hurting me so much? It's because when you've had that, been that with that person and you've had sex with that person, you have joined yourself with that person. You have become one flesh. And then relationship ends and he's had all those benefits and he was not your husband. You are now ripping apart what was never meant to be ripped apart. You're putting asunder what was never meant to be put asunder. You're trying to separate the one flesh and it was never meant to be like that. So please take courage, take heart and save it until you're married. And then when you're married, you can give him all those husband benefits that he so rightly deserves. This is Candy. Hope you've been touched and blessed by what I had to say. It was just something that was in me that I just had to say it. I had to get it out. My channel is usually about my hair and whatnot, but this just came to me. I'm interested in relationships anyway, from a professional point of view, and just general. So this just came to me, and I just had to share it. Love to hear from you guys. If you agree, don't agree, or whatever. Just like to hear from you. It's just something that I had to get out there, And whether you disagree with what I said, the truth is still the truth, whether you choose to believe it or not. But I've met many people who are hurting from relationships, especially females, when they've had sex with guys, and there was like no commitment there. And I'm talking about you're joining. So please, 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 please protect yourself, because when you can save it and then that man is there and then you're together and you've got that committed relationship, you're married, just imagine how wonderful it would be when you are joined together, when you are connected together. I'm not trying to be a purist, whatever the word is. I understand that people in this day and age are having sex, and I'm just trying to help you to save yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's all I'm interested in. So please, I hope that you heed my words. I'm gone. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say.